Hi and welcome again to another boxing review. Unfortunately we've got to start on a sad note today. After last Thursday, Steward died at the age of 68. It was a sad loss for boxing and one person that will be remembered for a long time in the sport. Trainer of 43 world champions, more than any other fighter, more than any other trainer, sorry. Probably if one of the greatest, if not the greatest trainer of all time. Trained Tommy Hearns most famously, took him from low down as an amateur to one of the best welterweights ever to live, and probably one of the biggest tall fighters ever to live, if you can have that as a category. Also trained Lennox Lewis, probably a rawish talent, turned him into one of the greatest heavyweights, probably the greatest heavyweight of his era. Took Vladimir Klitschko from again a raw talent to a dominating force at the top of the heavyweight division, and many other champions recently, Miguel Cotto and Chad Dawson, trained them very well. Remember Bernard Hopkins saying before the Chad Dawson fight, the one thing I have to take away from him is Emmanuel Steward. Every fighter respected him, and if you were more intimidated by the trainer in the corner and the fighter in the corner. He also trained Gerald McClellan, who tragically got injured in his fight with Nigel Benn. And I say 43 world champions, it's not something that just happens if you're a decent trainer who gets a lot of decent fighters. You have to be special, and Emmanuel Steward was special, so he will be deeply missed. Rest in peace, Manny. So next I'd like to move on to Ricky Burns, his world title fight. He's fighting against Liam Walsh, lowly ranked number 5 super featherweight in Britain. Speaks for itself really. I think it's his second defence of his WBO lightweight crown, defending against Kevin Mitchell last time. You've got to excuse him for that fight. Kevin Mitchell was pretty much on a high, probably deserved that shot. But in 4 rounds he destroyed him, showed he was above that level, and now he's fighting a guy who's probably at an even lower level, well, is at a lower level than Kevin Mitchell. He's 13-0, I do believe, 14-0. Not really fought anybody of any high note. Last fight was his first one at lightweight. I'm going to say he's ranked number 5 in Britain at super featherweight, so not even the best super featherweight in Britain. So it's a shocking fight to make, December 15th. The card's going to be ruled obviously now by George Groves' fight against Glenn Johnson. But Ricky Burns, not a fight I'm going to be interested in, not a fight any viewer from outside of the UK will be interested in. Hardcore boxing fans probably tune in to see what happens, but with no real excitement, and it's just not a good fight for him when he could be fighting guys of a higher level. Broner, DeMarco getting in on next month. Richard Abrams out there. He's the mandatory for WBA because I've got that fight on. There's Vazquez as well, Miguel Vazquez, who was on Saturday night, who, much like Ricky Burns, his title defence, not that many people were that interested in it. Nobody was that interested in that fight, and probably rightly so. It wasn't the greatest of fights I've ever seen. Not even up there. It was probably not even the greatest fight on the night, and it wasn't a great night for boxing either. It was some poor fights, nothing really excited like people expected it to, and that's going to be the case at the moment for Ricky Burns. His title defence, nobody is going to take that much interest in it. I'm not going to take that much interest in it. It's a lose-lose situation for Burns. It's a win-win situation for Walsh. Walsh, whatever happens, he's going to probably gain more respect, and Ricky Burns, whatever happens, he's going to lose respect because he's just fought a fighter that doesn't even, he's probably fighting at British title level at the moment, not WBO title level. So next I want to move on to the fights on the weekend. If anyone watched the HBO card, then you know what I'm on about when it wasn't the most spectacular of cards. It looked like it could have been Kareem Mayfield, Delorme, Vasquez all fighting. Probably not the biggest of fighters out there, but excitement was almost guaranteed. People believe in Vasquez. His fight against his challenger Quintero moved a lot, hands ridiculously low, always down by his side. Whether he's ever heard of a guard, I'll never know. Whether his trainer has told him to put his guard up, I'll never know. But he wasn't exactly Mayweather-esque either, not moving his head that much or shoulder rolling, anything like that. It was just generally running a lot, keeping out the way of the shots. And when Quintero got into range, which was for a lot of the fight, he was landing solid punches. He was landing the harder punches. Vasquez was doing the crisper, quicker punches, probably the more punches. Vasquez probably rightly got the decision, and he just, I believe, Quintero, the decision was booed at the end. Quintero did it, gave a good account to himself, but Vasquez, I think if he does step up his opposition as a world champion to a higher level, it's not going to last long for him against guys of the level of DeMarco, Broner. Maybe a fight with Ricky Burns could happen. That would be decent. In my opinion, Burns would win, but so far, looking at it, he hasn't proved that much against top level opposition. But he's got an awkward, different style. The ring was massive. He was moving so much that Quintero just couldn't at sometimes get to him, and that was the key, the difference in the fight. And then there was Kareem Mayfield, Herrera. Again, there was a lot of hype about Mayfield before the fight. Roy Jones Jr. was constantly hyping throughout the fight. Like, it was over the top hype. Mini Mike Tyson calling him at some points, saying he's very similar to Sugar Shane Mosley. Like, whether that's completely disrespecting Tyson or Mosley or completely overreacting on Mayfield, I can't really tell at the moment, because I didn't see anything spectacular about Mayfield. Beat a decent opposition, wasn't that comfortable, never really got into any rhythm. Nickname hard hitting. I didn't see anything that hard hitting about him. He landed some good punches. Maybe Herrera's better chinning on getting him respect for, but Mayfield didn't impress, didn't put on the performance that hyped him to do. Like, his rap before the fight was probably more impressive than his knockout power in the fight. He landed some good punches that maybe other fighters would have gone down from. But that just shows, once you step up your opposition, you ain't going to be hard hitting anymore. You ain't going to be as hard hitting as you was. Mayfield found that out. I think he can win a world title. He's got that bit of raw talent, get a right trainer in there, can make him something of a world champion. But as for anything else, I'd be very surprised if he made it as a top level world champion with a unified belts. I can see him become a world champion challenger. No more than that, really. Won't become of the level of what you'd expect from somebody being named Mini Mike, calling me. Sorry, not exactly something you'd expect from somebody Roy Jones Jr. is calling Mini Mike Tyson or Mini Sugar Shane Mosley. So, not really of that level yet. Neither though is Delorme, the Puerto Rican fighter who has also been given comparisons or fight to Felix Trinidad. Not really at Trinidad's level yet. Luis Abrego, who lost his only fight to Timothy Bradley, proved that he can be in that level, that top level. Probably the top 10 is where he deserves to be, maybe just about. Good display against Delorme, kept landing that right hand. Delorme didn't have an answer to that. Knocked him down twice, and rightly at the second time his corner pulled him out. He was way behind on the cards, I do believe. I had him way down on the cards, and Abrego was in control really, and couldn't miss with that right hand, so it may have been only a matter of time before a stoppage. So rightly done there, and Delorme. A lot of work to be done, especially on the defence. Like, when you're going against a fighter, Argentine, usually most Argentines have good right hands, especially if they're unorthodox, and he had a cracking right hand, and Delorme never adapted in the ring like Trinidad did, even though Roy Jones again started to do the comparisons to him, but I'm sure Trinidad would have adapted a lot to a fighter. But Delorme again is raw talent, gets the right trainer in, he can become a world champion, maybe nothing more again. So that's it for this episode of my boxing review. Once again, my thoughts and prayers with Emmanuel Stewart's family. Rest in peace, Manny. God bless.